Hello, welcome to a discussion by Mid-Atlantic Weather. This is Thursday, October 30th, the day before our spooky Halloween. But anyway, hey, I wanted to highlight a few things that are going on. Basically, a cold shot's coming through this weekend. I also want to explain where the snow's going and why. And I'll explain it by just looking at a snow map. Here's GFS as of this morning. Let's see if I can get this to come up. See, the snow is actually showing up on the GFS now west of areas, along the mountains because what appears to be happening is the energy is going to dive down even this far south and come here and then shoot out to sea. There may actually be a secondary low kind of here, thus you're seeing a little bit of output of snow up here. You got to disregard the stuff down here in North Carolina because, well, it's just not going to be warm enough. I mean, cold enough. It's be too warm for snow to be down there. So these little, you know, areas here, yeah, maybe the upper levels are getting cold enough for snow, but there's just no way that's happening at the surface. Anyway, because this energy is going to go through, a front's going to come through tonight. Energy is going to dive around that area, and that vort or that area of energy in the upper levels is going to then spin up a coastal. There was a time where this coastal we thought would actually hit and kind of maybe ride up the coast very, very slowly, but there's really no blocking up here pushing it to slow it down or anything. So that's why we're not seeing it come up the coast. Areas along the western slopes look like they're going to get the squeeze out of moisture, get some snow. As a matter of fact, if you look out on the National Weather Service site now, you can see that at least the areas here down on the western side and these slopes and the higher elevations of North Carolina, Southwest Virginia, because that's where the energy is going to slide down under, are actually showing a winter storm watch. They don't need quite as much snow to get some of those watches up, but seriously 2 to 4, 3 to 6 inches of snow in some of the higher elevations, not out of the question. Some flakes may make it all the way into the Roanoke area and areas right along the Blue Ridge, but I wouldn't expect too much to spill over the mountains or even that much moisture, honestly, up here in the northern areas. If anything, it would be more like central Appalachians and south, and then of course you get your western slopes, so just get the overrun of the moisture as it comes over the mountains. Beyond that, really quick, just to show you what the National Weather Service out of the Weather Prediction Center is showing for the probability of at least an inch of snow. You can see, like I said, that most of the stuff is, obviously western slopes, and we're down here in Southwest Virginia. Again, as we, talk about this energy diving down this way, it's going to allow that moisture to get wrung out, and there's enough cold air, and so the higher elevations are going to get that snow. Even the probability of 4 inches of snow is actually pretty high up here, about 70%. As I said, 2 to 4, 3 to 6 may happen. Again, the western slopes. This is only 1 6-hour time frame. There could be a little bit of extension, so that's why I said 2 to 4, maybe as much as 3 to 6. I think 2 to 4 is probably more than likely the case, and it's going to be higher elevations. Remember how mild it's been, even warm the last couple days. So unless you have the added advantage of elevation and soil temperatures and stuff because of that, you're just not going to see it. So that's kind of what's going on for this weekend scenario. Another piece here that I wanted to mention was temperatures. So let's see if I can show you. This is the forecast office temperatures that are going on. So if you look, you can see the temperatures forecast today are, in the upper 50s, around 60. Cooler tomorrow, and then, in 6-hour increments here, you're seeing it get colder and colder. And then here's our highs we're getting on Sunday. We're only showing highs in the 40s for a lot of regions, and then it's going to warm back up. Now, I'm not showing the southern areas, sorry about that, but as we go down here, you can actually see, the temperatures getting warmer by next week. So it's just this cool shot that's going to come through. It's going to be kind of transient. There were some models last night that started showing that maybe the cooler or the warmer idea for the first half of November may not show true. We'll see if that verifies. Right now, I think we're going to mild up, warm up next week. It's more seasonable weather, and that probably will hold for the first half of November, just from what I'm seeing. So one last thing I wanted to look at, or the long term. Oops, you can see my recording stuff. Long-term analysis, I did issue my winter weather outlook. It was preliminary yesterday. One of the big bases for that is the sea surface temperatures map. And this is important to highlight a few regions. So I'm going to reposition what I'm looking at here. First thing I want to highlight is really this region here. You can't see with that color outline, but I'm not sure what color outline would make best. Maybe black. But this region here, you're looking for this warmth, and this is anomalies. This is showing like warmer than normal temperatures in this area. If we get warmer than normal energy or warmer sea surface temperatures, what you tend to do is you get a jet stream that will go like this. This is called a PNA, or Pacific North American, and it's a positive phase. It's a ridge. If that happens, obviously it's grabbing this cold air and it's shoving it down here into the eastern United States. That's why this winter looks like it's going to be cooler than normal, because this has actually shown up. What's amazing about this has just been dominant. Now El Nino, it just, it seems like it may show up. It doesn't show up. It seems to show up. If anything, it looks like it's a little bit there, but I mean, there's nothing overwhelming to me that says this is going to be a El Nino dominant forecast, except for what's interesting is this PDO oscillation area and stuff does get influenced by the fact that there's El Nino heat as well. El Nino is that warm body of water down here. The last thing to highlight here is this cool air, or this cool area of ocean temperatures here. In all reality, this does help in this configuration where you get warm, separated by cool, for an NAO to be more negative. I don't think this is an overwhelming signal, but it keeps on showing up as a pretty, it's consistent signal. The NAO may be negative. Again, we need NAO because if this thing blocks here, you get a low up here over this area. This is blocking winds. You're always going to get a high next to a low. And so you're going to get this blocking. And what happens is these storms come up here, they can't leave. So because they can't leave, they actually come up the coast and try to find the weakness to go through. So what we're looking at is the possibility that this would actually cause more blocking. So if you get the ridging out here, you get the lows that come down here, and then they can't go out to sea, well, you get East Coast snowstorms. So we'll see if that dominates or if it's big this year or not. I don't think it's the only reason. I should have actually put a snow map to show you guys just how much snow cover there is. But if you've been following any weather because you like it, you've seen that the snow buildup in Eurasia or on the other side of the world has just been insane. It's the second highest ever since recording. So all that is good to know. Anyway, that's my long-winded outlook. Looking at the weekend, looking a little bit into winter, and then, just letting you guys know that it looks like it's going to warm up next week. This cold shot's going to be transient. Again, another sign that you're not going to see a big low come up the coast. It's a transient pattern. This low is kind of moving along and moving out. We're not going to see a long, several day interval of a low coming up the coast, nor of cold air getting locked in. This is just a quick shot and some energy, diving to the south, which can cause snow on the north end, and we're going to see at least some showers coming through the area, and they're going to be cold, but it's not the time of year to get snow out of that in the areas that are going to get the most precip, and only the mountains are really going to see that. So anyway, long-winded, and that's it.